100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Well, good morning to you. Welcome back to the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW, back in the saddle after a week's vacation. Our thanks to Larry Rodarty, Corrine Bowen, and Jonathan Dent for filling in for us last week. We appreciate their efforts. And today is a busy day. Later on, after the 10 o'clock news, we'll talk to Diane Brewer from the Michigan Educational Trust. For the first part of the hour. Second part of the hour, Linda Mcgee and J.J. Bain will be here to talk about Wildfire's new relationship with Saginaw Valley State University. And at 11 o'clock, Applied Training Solutions' Jason Baer will be here to talk about ATS. But for the first part of this hour, we're going to spend a little time this morning saying good morning to Congressman Dan Kildee. Congressman, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. It's good to be back on with you.
And glad to have you here. It's been, to say the least, a busy time in Washington, D.C., with an awful lot going on. What stands out? I mean, what's on the top of your list of things that have happened in the last couple of weeks?
Well, obviously, the decision of the Supreme Court is a earth-shattering decision that will send shockwaves across the country, and we're seeing that response across the states. I think on the very same day, we actually were able to pass that decision came down. We were able to pass, for the first time in decades, some common sense legislation on gun safety. That will have some real implications, I think, that are very positive for the country. I think the big issue that most of us are working on at the moment, I mean, those are two big issues, don't get me wrong, but we're particularly focused right now on passing legislation that will help us in our competitiveness, particularly with China, and would also have an impact on this issue of inflation that we're dealing with right now. I heard the earlier report on the show and the news section about the availability of vehicles. Vehicle sales obviously are down. That's largely attributable to the lack of these small chips, these electronic chips that are necessary to make any 21st century vehicle functional. We've got to deal with that, and that's part of the legislation we're working on. So you're right. There's a lot going on right now, and obviously all of it is pretty significant.
There are some big issues, obviously. The court decision on Roe v. Wade was one. The passing of, as you described it, sensible gun legislation, and I am a gun rights individual, but I do believe that we need some legislation, although I have to tell you, all of that is fine, and hopefully it does stop a couple of folks who don't deserve to have guns from getting them. But the bottom line is we have to figure out how to take guns out of the hands of the bad guys who don't care what the law says. You know, you look at Chicago with the toughest gun laws in the country and the highest gun murder rate in the country, and you ask yourself, why is that?
Yeah, I agree with that. And that's why I've been so upset with some of my colleagues in Congress that have continually tried to eliminate or defund the ATF, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. That's the agency that, at least from a federal standpoint, we can empower to do exactly what you said, go after the bad guys. We have seen the evidence of an ATF investment in a so-called surge, which will go into a community. We saw this in Flint a few years ago. I've been pushing for more. A surge where the ATF, local prosecutors, local police agencies work together to use the intelligence they have to go after the few hundred really bad actors that are out there and get them. And so, I do agree with you. We have to attack this on every front. The legislation that we passed last week that the president just signed, it won't stop every problem. But I think the way we have to look at this is the way we look at any issue. If there's a way for us to make progress, if there's a way that perhaps we can save some lives by making it less likely that one of these terrible events will occur again, we should do that, so long as we're protecting people's individual rights and freedoms. I'm a deer hunter myself. I go up to deer camp every year. None of the guys I hunt with need to have a high-capacity magazine with 100 rounds in it. They don't need to have a bump stock that turns their semi-automatic rifle into a machine gun. The things we can do that could save lives and also protect the Second Amendment are the things we should focus our attention on.
Yeah. Another thing which is ahead this year, of course, are the midterm elections. There are going to be those voters who are one-issue voters who will vote one way or another on Roe v. Wade. There are voters who will vote one way or another on gun rights. But would you agree with me that when the overwhelming majority of people go to the polls, they vote on their pocketbook and they vote on inflation and prices and things of that nature?
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously, for the most part, that's true. And of course, elections are determined by the behavior of the entire electorate. So one of these issues can affect, by a few points, the outcome of an election. But the central issue for most people has to do with what their daily life experience is like, and who do I see as being, most aligned with my interests when I go to cast my ballot. But those other issues do come in. They may not be as fundamentally important, but they do have an effect on some percentage of the electorate because, as you said, there are people who this year will vote based on a single, but most people do think about the broader economic issues.
There was a report this morning that 1 million voters have switched parties to the Republican side. How does the Democratic Party view the upcoming midterms?
Well, I mean, the pendulum swings back and forth, and this has been the case over the years. And of course, the phenomena that you refer to has taken place over the last half a decade or so. So there has been somewhat of a realignment. That's why the district that I currently represent, which was once a reliably Democratic district, now is far more competitive. That's the ebb and flow of American politics. You have to take the long view of history to see this. And I think that's fine. I think the important thing for anyone running for office, and I'll speak for myself, is to speak with clarity about the things that I'm for and what I think is important, and not fall into the trap, which is too much present in American politics right now, where there's a tendency to demonize one's political opponent when really it's just a difference of opinion that we have about issues for which there are many opinions. But I see, dark money, unreported money, buying news, buying ads on television to distort, even in my case, my record. And I look at it and I think, gosh, that doesn't make any sense to me. To me, that's what's wrong. It's not so much that the pendulum swings back and forth. That's fine. That's the way American politics works. But for me, my mission, if one that supersedes a lot of the issues that come and go, my mission is to try to lower the temperature in the American political debate and have an honest and respectful debate over the differences of opinion that we ought to celebrate, not demonize. I mean, we live in a society where differences of opinion are okay. There are many societies around the world where a difference of opinion could land you in jail. And I think that's where I'm focusing my attention. Let's lower the temperature. Let's have an honest, thoughtful, respectful discussion about the issues, and then the people make their choice.
Can you hang on for one more segment?
Sure.
All right, I got to take a break. We'll be back. We're talking to Congressman Dan Kildee. More ahead.
When state bureaucrats threaten doctors over their COVID treatments, Representative Annette Glenn backed the bureaucrats down. Dr. John Fenninger said Annette Glenn's actions, quote, may have saved many lives. Paid for by Annette Glenn for State Senate.
This is it, your last chance to win the new $15 million prize of a lifetime from Publishers Clearinghouse. There is just one day left to enter to win $15 million on June 30th. So you must enter at PCH.com before it's too late. $15 million, all for you. But time is running out, so enter now at PCH.com. The $15 million prize of a lifetime. Don't miss your last chance to win it this June 30th. Enter now at PCH.com. Entries due 6/28. No purchase necessary. Prize paid at least $390,000 annually. Void or prohibited.
Here at Total Wine & More, you'll love what you find, especially our totally low prices.
That rosé you recommended was a hit. What should we try for more fun in the sun this weekend?
This silver tequila makes a refreshing tequila sunrise.
Perfect. Wow, That price is refreshing too.
Love what you find. Only at Total Wine and More. Pickup and delivery available at TotalWine.com. Drink responsibly, B21.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Summer is officially here. The perfect time to save some money. And why pay full price when you know you can save money at RocketGrabPlus.com? Check out all of our deals going on right now from Applied Training Solutions, Style Encore, One Up Games and Repairs, Daylight Outfitters, 120 Fitness, and more. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com. RocketGrabPlus.com.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
We've just gotten a number a lot of investors are closely looking at. Turns out there were a lot more durable goods orders in May than forecast.
We were only looking for 0.1% of a jump. This is orders for big ticket items. It came in at 0.7%. That is much hotter than expected. This is airplanes, aircraft, computers, cars, trucks, etc. Now, if you strip out the transportation component, that came in hotter than expected.
Cheryl Casoni with the Fox Business Network. World leaders are gathering for day 2 of the G7 summit in Germany, the group announced. They are close to agreeing on a Russian oil price cap and tariff hikes. And a billionaire who built an eyewear empire has died. Ray-Ban owner, Italian industrialist Leonardo Del Vecchio was 87. Eyewear giant EssilorLuxottica announced his death. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lilian Wu, invested in you.
Run, walk, honor. The Tunnel to Towers 5K Run and Walk in New York City retraces FDNY firefighter Steven Siller's final footsteps on 9/11. That single event has inspired more than 70 runs, walks, and climbs in different cities across the nation each year. Register for an event in your area or volunteer to start one. Do good and never forget by donating $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
The WSW online poll with Russia's war against Ukraine, and we have athletes and performers being banned because of the continued sanctions and boycotts that are against the country, and the aspect of the Russian athletes and entertainers perhaps representing the country in a positive way. Some are saying it shouldn't happen. So Wimbledon is not going to allow athletes to play. U.S. Open tennis will. Russian players in the NHL won't be allowed to bring the Stanley Cup to the country. There's just some examples. Some supporters of this action say it's appropriate, especially if these individuals aren't denouncing Vladimir Putin. These Russian athletes and entertainers are saying, we've got family, and how can we say anything against Putin with our family still there in Russia? So our poll question, what do you think? Should Russian athletes, entertainers, be banned from competitions and events around the world because of the invasion of Ukraine by Russia? Would you say yes? Doesn't matter the circumstances. Would you say yes unless the person will speak out against the invasion? No, action should not be taken against individual athletes and entertainers, or you're not sure. You go to WSW.com, you can scroll on the homepage and make your vote that way.
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
All right, we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show. A few more minutes with Congressman Dan Kildee with us this morning. We had a caller before the show, Congressman. He was going to ask why, from his viewpoint, the Democrat Party has been radicalized on issues like Roe v. Wade, gun control, so forth, so on. I'm not going to ask that question quite that way, because it would seem to me that what's radical to one, the opposite view is radical to the other.
Yeah. Well, I think part of the problem we have in this country is one's perspective tends to view others that they disagree with as radical, when in truth, very often we're just talking about honest disagreements, differences of opinion. Now, I will say this. There are voices in the Democratic Party with whom I have really significant disagreement.
Mm-hmm.
I think some of them are 100% wrong, and I'm willing to stand up to them when that happens. There are extreme voices on both the left and on the right. But I just look at what we actually do. Like, for example, on gun rights, the legislation that we passed last week is supported by 90% of the American people, enhancing background checks, closing the so-called boyfriend loophole, improving the background check system, and more crisis intervention when someone is suffering from, real serious mental distress. They shouldn't be able to get a gun. These are things that are broadly supported. So while there might be a few fringe voices that say one thing or the other, like defund the police, I think defunding the police is a completely insane concept. I keep trying to get more money for our police, and I'm a Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it when people tend to choose the most outrageous voices and try to, argue that represents all of us. It sure does not represent me, and it doesn't represent the legislation that we're passing either.
Congressman, has the middle got lost here someplace? You will remember Congressman Traxler, as I do fondly.
Right.
Even though we may have political differences, I love the man. He taught me that the old 3D principle, where you debate, deliberate, and decide. Have we gotten away from that?
I think to a certain extent some have, and I live in that middle. I represent that middle. That's who we are here in the middle of the country. We are people who are more respectful of one another, more thoughtful, less ideological. We just want to roll up our sleeves and solve problems. And I do think sometimes it gets lost in the conversation because it's not interesting, exciting, it's not tweetable, it doesn't go viral. But that's where the country is. And that's the position that I continue to hold. That's why, during the years I've been in Congress, some of my closest friends have been people that I have some disagreements with. But we don't let those disagreements cancel our agreements. Like John Molinar, he and I are friends. He worked with me in helping get money for the Flint water crisis. I worked with him in getting help to solve the problems caused by the terrible flooding. That's how it ought to work. And I think that's how most people think about it. I wish that was the way politics was perceived. But those extreme voices, they just get more interest. And I think that's a bad thing for the country.
I've expressed many times on this show that I think social media has been, on the one hand, a boon, and on the other hand, a bane to particularly American politics. I think social media has been a very disruptive force in politics in many ways. What do you think?
I agree. I mean, I honestly, I get to the point where, we have a presence on social media. Of course, I have, my own page where I show pictures of my grandchildren, and the venom that people feel permitted to point in my direction or in the direction of others, this has gotten out of hand. People can't hide behind their screen and not follow the golden rules that their parents taught them. That screen is not some sort of an exemption from common decency, but we've gotten beyond that, and it's not good for the country. It's not good for communities, and it's just, to me, it's a shame.
It's interesting you bring up the golden rule, because there have been polls showing that Americans, for one reason or another, are moving away from organized religion, churches, and even God. That doesn't portend good future either, does it?
No, I think, mostly I think if we just think about the lessons our parents taught us, whatever our traditions might have been, whether it's religious or some other basis, if we just think about the lessons we were taught when we were 5 and 6 and 7 years old, whether those are religious based or otherwise, those are really important lessons. Those don't end when you become, an adult. We ought to pay attention to those. I hear my father's voice, my mother's voice in my head every single day when I go to work, and that helps a lot.
All right, let's I want to finish up talking just about a couple of issues here. I know you were involved in trying to figure out how to put baby formula back on the shelves. And the Abbott plant was up and then down again and up. Where are we with that, and what's going to happen?
Well, I mean, obviously, this was a situation where I think the FDA should have acted more responsibly and quicker to deal with the problems at the Abbott plant. It's a case where we have essentially a monopoly when it comes to baby formula. We have to fix that for sure. But what I've suggested and introduced legislation to achieve is to take any tariff off imported baby formula so that the price and availability of imported formula while we are dealing with our supply chain issues puts us in a position that no parent can be in a position where they have to worry about being able to take care of their child properly. So we have to do the things we can do. And if we can eliminate those tariffs, at least for the time being, until we can resolve these supply issues, I think it makes it more possible for us to move forward. Ultimately, we can't have just a handful of companies controlling access to something as fundamental as baby formula. That monopoly has to be broken up. We've got to figure out a way to not be so heavily reliant on one factory going down, because that can happen to any product.
Talking about Reliance, our reliance on China, is out of sight. I think we should have learned a lesson during COVID when a lot of the raw materials for our drugs come from China.
For sure.
How do we fix that problem? Can we?
Well, I think, we can, but it's going to take a longer view. I, for example, believe we ought to be enforcing existing law on Chinese products that use in slave labor, essentially. I mean, right. For example, in China, they make high-grade polysilicon. We make the same thing right here in mid-Michigan. The polysilicon in China is made by people who are in work camps, and they're being exploited. So I was able to get an enforcement action to stop those products from being exported. That's one of the ways we have to go at it. But I think we really need a multilateral approach, not just the U.S. against China, but to engage our partners in Europe and other parts of the world, particularly democracies, to work in unison to take on some of these really nefarious practices that China uses. They steal intellectual property, copy our products, and sell them on the cheap. We can't let that continue. It's a complicated set of issues, but it's one that if we take it one piece at a time, we can really make progress. And of course, we have to invest in our own capacity, infrastructure being one of the ways we do that. I think if we do those things over time, we're going to be able to deal with competition with China much more effectively.
Well, Congressman, it's always a pleasure to chat with you, and
thank you, Art.
Look forward to doing it again.
Absolutely. I look forward to it. Thanks for having me on.
You bet. Have a great day.
You bet.
Bye-bye now. Bye-bye now. Congressman Dan Kildee, we thank him for joining us. We'll have open phones for the remainder of the hour, 989-752-6111. All ahead.
This is Rachel from the Svrc Marketplace, located at 203 South Washington, right on Riverfront Saginaw. Support small this summer, as we have over 30 small businesses ready to serve you. Global flavors like delicious banh mi from Saigon Sandwich and Louisiana-style gumbo straight from Creole Queens. The Windy City flavor with Divine Taste Chicago. Fill your soul with sweets from Craven Cookies and Rebecca's Bakery. Retail therapy with one of our newest businesses, Jazzy Soul Critique. Drum roll as we welcome the opening of the amazing Cop King. Don't forget about our downtown Saginaw Farmers Market that joins us under our pavilion, open Wednesday and Friday 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and Saturday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Support small this summer inside the Svrc Marketplace, open Wednesday through Saturday 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Have a special event and need a rental space? Check out the Marketplace. We thank you for the continued support of our small businesses. Remember to shop local, eat local, support small business, and we hope to see you at the market.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital. Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. prepaid. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
The IRS doesn't mess around. If they want your money, they'll take it. They can take your paycheck and bank accounts too, even threaten your home or business. Don't take on the IRS alone. If you owe back taxes, the smartest thing you can do is call Optima Tax Relief. The experts at Optima specialize in a powerful IRS tax assistance program called the Fresh Start Initiative. And their clients that qualify are saving thousands. One call starts the process to stop the demand letters, stop aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS from targeting you. But don't delay. It's important to act now while you still have options. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Optima has already resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get your life back. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima now for your free consultation.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
You have the chance to win a WSGW and Edible Arrangements of Saginaw red, white, and blueberry platter. To enter your name in the weekly random drawing, head to WSGW.com, scroll down the homepage, and find the WSGW and Edible Arrangements red, white, and blueberry contest box. Click and enter your name. Each Friday in June, we'll give away a prize. A red, white, and blueberry platter for you from Edible Arrangements on Tittabawassee Road in Saginaw and WSGW.
Broadcasting from the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios. This is WSGW.
Hi, we're back. We'll have open phones for the remainder of the hour here. And first up this morning is Scott in Saginaw. Scott, good morning.
Hey, morning, Art. Welcome back.
Thank you, sir.
I'm going to kind of pick up on where Kildee left off. You had asked him a question from a caller about extremism, and Kildee kind of pushed it aside and said, well, these are just fringe voices on the outside. So I kind of want to take a look at a few of these fringe voices from this weekend. First one, our Governor Whitmore, who apparently is a fringe voice, but when asked about Jane's revenge destroying healthcare clinics in Michigan, she would not answer the question, but she pivoted very quickly and looked at our House of U.S. Representatives and said they are extremists. Then we have AOC. She came out, who is another fringe voice, she said, we have to fill the streets. Elections are not enough.
Yeah. Well, let me point out one thing, because I know this. AOC is one of those he would disagree with.
Well, that might be so, but nobody's denouncing her. And then let's go one more here to the Speaker of the House, another one that I guess Kildee would call a fringe voice, Nancy Pelosi. What did she say? We cannot allow these people to remain in charge. Since then, Clarence Thomas's life has now been, people are trying to kill him. They're putting out our justices' names, addresses, where they go. These are called hit lists from the Democratic Party.
Well, no, whoa. Let's just hang on a minute. Because this is where the conversation takes a turn that needs to be corrected here. The Democratic Party did not put out those addresses. Maybe people who are Democrats put out those lists, but the party itself did not do that. No more than the Republican Party would do it to Democrats.
But hold on, Art. Now you show me. I'll go with you on that. But now you show me the one elected Democrat official who denounced this.
Oh no, I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying it's not the party that did it. Well, if it doesn't matter, why accuse the party? If it doesn't matter who did it, somebody did it, and it was wrong.
But it does. Well, see, when you had some moron come out and start talking white racism, Donald Trump had to come out every day and denounce whatever this fool was saying. But now we actually have people in the Democratic Party saying, take to the streets, elections aren't enough, we can't allow them to remain in charge, we need to remove them. And the Democratic Party saying nothing. And again, I hope I don't get in trouble, but this comes back to, I think the only language the Democrats are going to actually understand is exactly what they're doing. When people get in their face and push them down, set them down. And here's another one. A homemade flamethrower was taken to one of these peaceful protests. They tried to burn a cop alive. Democrats.
No, a person.
but they're Democrats.
Maybe.
There ain't no Republican. Show me a Republican out there burning a building down because abortions are now not illegal.
Yeah, we've been through this. I understand. I understand what you're saying. But if you think that there are no Republicans who have ever done anything wrong that way, come on. You know it, and I know it.
Art.
I'm just pointing out it's not the party. It's individuals. These are all individuals. In the same way that it's an individual that walks into a school with a gun and commits murder, that's an individual. It does not represent a party. It does not represent the opinion of most people, both sides. But it's an individual who does the act. We need to address that.
Putting it that way, and I hate to go with this gross example, but the father's molesting the children. The mother knows it's going on. She's just as guilty. She knows it's going on. If she's not denouncing it and taking care of it,
so what? Yeah, absolutely. I'm not disagreeing
with
that. I think that she has a responsibility to speak up. Absolutely.
And so do the elected Democrat officials. They need to say we need to not be burning buildings down. We shouldn't be threatening to kill. That's what they need to be doing. But instead,
all right.
You have
good enough.
All right, Art.
Hey, cool. Listen, always good. Thanks, Scott. Yep. And Paul in Saginaw. Paul, good morning.
Morning, Art. Good to have you back.
Thank you, sir.
I'm going to change the subject a little bit. A few quick issues. In Tuesday's June 21st local newspaper, page A3, it reported that Michigan's most obese county at 41.7% is Saginaw County.
Lucky us.
Yeah, that's issue one. Issue two. In Friday's local newspaper on June 24th, on page A5, it was reported that it's been 50 years since the last refinery was built in America because of the high cost and environmental regulations. And of the existing 129 refineries still operating, only half of those are owned by the oil companies. The other half are owned by independent owners, and they're contracted out.
Yeah. So what?
So that might make gas prices go up a little higher because those
no, they're still dealing with
owners,
no.
They're planning on shutting down in the future. Art.
Well, but that's their right.
Cars.
They own it. That's their right. They own it. And if they reach the point, if they reach the point with EVs that their product is no longer desired, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to shut down, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
So big
no
deal
doubt about it.
But that's not today, is it?
No, not today.
So I mean,
all right, last issue. On Sunday, June 19th, the young people of Colombia voted in their first communist president of the country because he promised free education to everybody because we're going to tax all the rich people to pay for it.
Yeah.
And
I don't think he was. I don't think he was voted in communist president. Right? What I read was leftist president.
Well, yeah, but here's the deal: he's partnering up with Venezuela, Nicaragua, and Russia to get tanks and military equipment. They're also going to put in the Green New Deal, and he also says we're going to put a moratorium on all cocaine seizures and even grow more coca plants for export.
Well.
So
I guess that's his right as the leader of those people, and if they get tired of them, they'll get rid of them. I mean, that's
once they take away all your guns, you can't get rid of no dictator.
Well,
that's what they're planning on doing with those tanks and military equipment. They're going to take away all their
whatever
guns.
You think. But I'm worried about what happens in this country, not what happens in Colombia. Colombia has been a country that's been, from drug lords to you name it. They've had their ups and downs in society and in time, and I don't think that's going to change.
Well, we have first it's Venezuela, Nicaragua.
Well, those countries belong to you. What surprises you about any of those?
Cuba.
Yeah, of course. What surprises you about that? They're all in the same vein.
That's right.
They have
it's moving
been.
north. It's moving north, Art.
Nonsense.
It's moving north, Art.
Okay, Paul.
Mexico.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
All right.
All right, Paul. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Have a good one.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back. Lines open for you here on the Art Lewis Show.
As golfers, we want more.
more distance, more accuracy, more birdies, pars, and one putts. What if I told you that you can get all of that and more for less during your next golf getaway? Now with 90 holes of golf at one resort, Shanty Creek Resort is bigger and better. Discover a new golf mecca in Bel Air with all the more you need. Variety, quality, and quantity with customizable stay and play packages accommodating every group and budget. When you're ready for more, we'll be here to welcome you at Shanty Creek Resort in Bel Air and online at shantycreek.com.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
School's out for summer, but if your business is running QuickBooks, you'll never get a break. QuickBooks manual processes, integration difficulties, and glitchy delays will leave you scrambling for the numbers you need. Failing to graduate to NetSuite will leave you stuck in summer school while your friends party. NetSuite by Oracle is the #1 cloud financial system, no matter how big your business grows. With visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, e-commerce, and more. NetSuite is everything you need to grow, all in one place. That's why NetSuite is the #1 cloud financial system, used by over 29,000 growing businesses. Automate your process with NetSuite and close your books in no time. 93% of surveyed businesses increase their visibility and control since graduating from QuickBooks to NetSuite. Right now, NetSuite is offering a one-of-a-kind financing program, so graduating has never been easier. Head to netsuite.com/radar right now. netsuite.com/radar. netsuite.com/radar.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Trying to find when and where you can hear the Tigers, Red Wings, Michigan football, and basketball, Saginaw Spirit hockey, and SVSU football on WSGW? Just click on the sports broadcast box on WSGW.com for complete game time listings. That's WSGW.com.
All right, we're back with you, and we'll go back to our phones now. Joe is in Saginaw. Joe, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you this fine morning?
We're doing well. Hope you are.
Hey, I just wondered if your last couple of callers had noticed any of those very sensible and folks that showed up in Washington, D.C. in January.
Yeah. January 6th to be exact.
January 6th to be exact, yes. And mostly Democrats, I'm sure.
Yeah, doubt that.
Yes. So anyhow, I just thought I'd throw that in.
Yeah, all right, good enough. Thanks. Take care.
Have a good day. Bye.
You
now.
too. Bye-bye now. And here is Ed in Freeland. Ed, good morning.
Good morning, Art. Yeah, just kind of curious, listening to Mr. Representative Kildee, represent some of the different. He's saying that the Democrat doesn't represent extreme voices. Now, let's use this for an example. Let's say 1950. If you took a Democrat in 1950, would be more conservative.
Oh, that's what they say about John
Kennedy. Would be more
Kennedy.
conservative than a Republican of today.
Yeah, that's what they say about John Kennedy. They say if John Kennedy were alive today, he'd be a conservative.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at, though, is you're seeing it's not there's no middle ground. You're seeing an unbelievable liberalism shift, a radicalism in all of America. So you're actually seeing a move toward wickedness in a lot of different issues. So here's a prime example. So you say the Democratic Party isn't extreme, and he says extreme voices. Of course, that's the narrative. He's running for re-election, and he wants to portray himself as run in the middle of the road because of the district he represents. Look at what the Democrats have been doing.
Let me ask you a
They're
question.
almost all unanimous.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. If extremism was the way of the future, why would you want to present yourself as middle of the road? Because you want to go where the votes are. And if it were true that extremism were where the votes are, that's where you'd go.
Yeah, but
Still
he does
not.
go, but he fools you into presenting he's middle of the road with extremist views. Let me give you an example. Okay, let's talk about gender issues. So Mr. Joe Biden and everybody's saying, oh, if a child identifies as, let's say, a boy as a girl, that they're protected. So we get to harm parental rights, which is like kind of a conservative view. We protect. Now, if you don't think that's outright wickedness, what would you call it? So Mr. Kildee is supposed to be a Catholic. So why is he? It's like Mr. Biden. You even have divisions within their own church saying he's not allowed to take communion. You can't have somebody supporting issues that go directly against the Bible. And so he calls himself. So people have become so liberal that the Bible is outright challenged.
Well, we'll find out what happens in the midterms, and we'll see how liberal the country is.
Oh, yeah. So even you recognize that there's a liberalism. So let's say
wait a minute. Whoa.
What?
There is a far left. Would you agree?
No, I think the whole Democratic Party.
Well, okay, then we're going to disagree.
No, because
in the same. Do you think the whole Republican Party is far right?
No.
So wait, the Republican Party has divisions, but the Democrat Party can't?
No. See, what you're not understanding, remember the shift. Okay, let's look at those issues.
Don't tell me what I don't understand. It's what I believe and it's the way I view it. That doesn't mean I don't understand it.
Oh, no, because the thing is, let's say with Kildee, you asked a bunch, they were all what I call softball questions.
Okay.
Because what happens is you ask a question where it's allowed for him to, so we didn't even touch on it. I could give a whole bunch of topics. It's like, let's say the Supreme Court. Who puts the members on the Supreme Court? You either have the Republicans or the liberals. So look at the people who
the Republicans
or
the liberals,
Democrats.
not the conservatives or the liberals.
What's that?
I said it's the Republicans or the liberals, not the conservatives or the liberals. So you can't have it both ways, and you're trying to do that.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got different people within the Republicans, so you can still have a liberal, and some people are more conservative. You're familiar with the term
but you're
rhino,
telling me you
aren't
can't have that in the Democratic Party, is what you're telling me. Is that right?
No, you got what you call extreme radicals, and then you got the main Democratic Party, which has become radical.
Okay. All right, we got it.
No, but you don't agree. So do you agree a child should be able to be protected?
On the issues. If you want to talk to me about specific issues, absolutely.
Absolutely. Is a specific issue.
Absolutely.
Gender identity.
All right.
So the Democratic Party is supporting that. That is beyond extreme.
Gotcha.
All
right. I got to get one more call in. Gotcha. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye now. And Gene is with us this morning. Gene, good morning.
Good morning, Art. I was listening for quite a while this morning, and I can't figure out why people are so riled up. It's a nice day out there. Go walk your dog or do something. But that's...
I love it.
That's what I'm going to do. Maybe you will later, too.
As a matter of fact, we got 3 of them at home. My son dropped off his 2 black labs to babysit.
Yeah.
We have grand dogs. We don't have any grandkids.
I found out over the weekend that I'm going to be great grandpa.
Oh, congratulations to you and Yoko.
So that's all I wanted to say. Just people should calm down a little bit and enjoy life. They're getting too riled up.
Well, you and I'm going to use Gene as an example. I know who Gene is. I've known him for decades.
Too many decades.
No, otherwise more. But Gene and I come from different ends of political spectrum, but we are very good friends, and I love he and his wife to pieces. And politics aside, I don't judge people on their politics. I judge them on their personality and how they treat me.
That's the way to do it.
And and that's
what
why
I'd
you and
like
I
to
can
do,
go
too.
out. That's why you and I can go out to dinner and have a great time.
Yeah, right. We have to do that again sometime.
All right, we'll do it. You're on.
Okay, take care. All
care.
right.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
All right, that'll do it for calls for this hour, and we'll tell you what's ahead after these notes.
Welcome to retirement. Now, replace your paycheck. To local financial coach Kevin Ray, this is what retirement planning is all about.
Building monthly paychecks. And how you build those monthly paychecks is going to determine how well in retirement you're going to enjoy it. So sit down and build a good framework, and it starts with income.
So build your framework with Kevin and the team at Insight Folios today by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
The IRS doesn't mess around. If they want your money, they'll take it. They can take your paycheck and bank accounts too, even threaten your home or business. Don't take on the IRS alone. If you owe back taxes, the smartest thing you can do is call Optima Tax Relief. The experts at Optima specialize in a powerful IRS tax assistance program called the Fresh Start Initiative. And their clients that qualify are saving thousands. One call starts the process to stop the demand letters, stop aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS from targeting you. But don't delay. It's important to act now while you still have options. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Optima has already resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get your life back. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima now for your free consultation.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
For over 20 years, you have known Sunrise Awnings as the home of the shady deal. Living in Michigan, we are always looking for ways to spend more time outdoors, especially now. Sunrise Awnings provides homeowners that opportunity to expand their living space with Sunsetter or Summer Space Awnings. Enjoy family and friends, protected from the sun, rain, and heat. Call Sunrise Awnings today to take advantage of that outdoor lifestyle you enjoy. Check us out at sunriseawnings.net. Get the most out of your patio and deck with a retractable awning from Sunrise Awnings.
All right, that is going to wrap up this hour of the Art Lewis Show. We thank you for joining us here on WSGW. Next hour, we're going to have several guests. We start out talking to Diane Brewer from the Michigan Educational Trust, 35th anniversary of the trust, and they have a $1.5 million tuition giveaway that 36,000 people signed up for. We're going to learn about that. Also going to learn about a new partnership between Wildfire Credit Union and Saginaw Valley State University with Linda Mcgee and J.J. Boehm. All of that is ahead this morning, but first the news from CBS, local report with Ann Williams in the WSGW newsroom. We will be back with you right after the news on the Art Lewis Show.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Women are weighing in after a weekend of processing a historic Supreme Court decision overturning Roe v. Wade. This woman in favor of abortion rights tells CBS Mornings,
I'm frustrated for the women that won't be allowed to have the choice, that they are being told what to do by someone that doesn't know them or their circumstances.
Another is applauding the change.
Different people want different things. So I actually think that the best way to be able to minister to women and give them what they need is by having it be at the state level.
Women in at least 8 states can no longer get legal abortions today. Some employers have offered to cover expenses for women who travel out of state for the procedure. But CBS's Jim Krasula says there may be legal implications.
Legal experts say the growing number of large U.S. companies that have said they will pay workers abortion-related travel costs could expose them to lawsuits and even potential criminal liability. Companies will face a patchwork of state laws and are likely to face pushback from anti-abortion groups and Republican-led states.
The Supreme Court has just rejected another bid by Baird to dismiss lawsuits alleging Roundup causes cancer. Justices have left in place a lower judgment awarding $87 million to a California couple diagnosed after they used the weed killer for more than 30 years. Bayer faces the potential of paying out billions of dollars in damages. President Biden among G7 leaders pledging support for Ukraine until the end at their conference in Germany. Ashok Swain is a professor of peace and conflict in Sweden.
They also will be discussing what is not going well or what is not really happening as per the plan.
Tomorrow, Mr. Biden will be among NATO leaders meeting in Madrid. Protesters waving anti-war banners and flags. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan unveiling a new U.S. plan to help Ukraine.
We do intend to finalize a package that includes advanced medium and long-range air defense capabilities for the Ukrainians.
We got word this past half hour WNBA star Brittany Griner will remain in detention in Russia through her trial on drug possession charges.
Do you have anything to say?
She made a court appearance today where a start date was scheduled for this Friday. Officials there claim they found cannabis oil in Griner's luggage at the airport in Moscow. She faces 10 years in prison if she's convicted. And police in Atlanta say a man who complained about too much mayonnaise on his sandwich opened fire at a Subway shop, killing one employee and injuring another. Police are still searching for the suspect. This is CBS News.
Find great hires fast with Indeed. Their end-to-end hiring solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in the same place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
When you leave tobacco behind, you'll have so much more ahead. Like more birthdays, more time with family, more money, and better health every day. The My Tobacco Quit link has helped more than 30,000 Michiganders quit tobacco and move forward with healthier lives. And we can help you too. Start today. Call 1-800-784-8669 or visit michigan.gov/tobacco. Sponsored by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
COVID-19 moves fast, and now you can too. If you feel symptoms, even if they're mild, you should test fast. Test positive and at high risk for severe COVID-19? Then act fast with authorized oral treatments that can be taken at home and must be taken within 5 days from when symptoms begin. COVID-19 moves fast, and now you can too by asking your healthcare provider if an oral treatment is right for you. Learn about a treatment option at treatcv19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
Okay, import footage. How is the hard drive already full?
Jawan's Pilates studio converted to entirely virtual classes.
SMPEG.
But leading and editing sessions is stretching her too thin.
It says render failed. What I do?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by conducting interviews on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
This is it, your last chance to win the new $15 million prize of a lifetime from Publishers Clearinghouse. There is just 1 day left to enter to win $15 million on June 30th. So you must enter at PCH.com before it's too late. $15 million, all for you. But time is running out, so enter now at PCH.com. The $15 million prize of a lifetime. Don't miss your last chance to win it this June 30th. Enter now at PCH.com. Entries due 6/28. No purchase necessary. Prize paid at least $390,000 annually. Void or prohibited.
It's 65 degrees at 10:05. Good morning. I'm Ann Williams. One westbound lane of Veterans Memorial Bridge in Bay City will be closed until about 3 o'clock this afternoon. Repairs are underway, which will cause traffic backups in that area. Police are searching for a suspect who shot and killed a 34-year-old man in Bay City Sunday afternoon. It happened on Columbus Avenue near South Sheridan Street just after 4 p.m. Bay City public safety officers say the victim was shot multiple times. He was taken to a local hospital where he died. Authorities say it does not appear the victim was from Bay City, and it's not clear where he lived. 2 other people who were with the man were not hurt. Police say the suspect is described as a light-skinned black man who fled the scene on foot. A light-colored Ford Explorer was seen leaving the area at a high rate of speed. If you have any information, call the Bay City Department of Public Safety Detective Bureau. You can also provide information anonymously to Crime Stoppers, 1-800-422-JAIL. Download the P3 mobile app or go to p3tips.com Photos and videos can be uploaded on the app or online. Shortly after 10 Saturday night, Huron County deputies were sent to the intersection of M53 and Oak Beach Road in Hume Township, where there was a fatal SUV motorcycle crash. The investigation revealed 58-year-old Michael Karanen of Imlay City was eastbound in his Subaru with a passenger on Oak Beach Road when he disregarded the stop sign at the intersection. That caused the collision with 32-year-old Eldon Pearson of Harbor Beach, who was southbound on his Yamaha motorcycle. Pearson died from his injuries and was pronounced dead at the scene. The SUV driver and passenger were taken to McLaren Thumb and later to an out-county hospital for treatment. The investigation is continuing, and police think intoxication is a likely factor in the accident. WSGW News Time is 10:07.
This is Rachel from the Svrc Marketplace, located at 203 South Washington, right on Riverfront Saginaw. Support small this summer, as we have over 30 small businesses ready to serve you. Global flavors like delicious banh mi from Saigon Sandwich and Louisiana-style gumbo straight from Creole Queens. The Windy City flavor with Divine Taste Chicago. Fill your soul with sweets from Craven Cookies and Rebecca's Bakery. Retail therapy with one of our newest businesses, Jazzy Soul Critique. Drum roll as we welcome the opening of the amazing Cop King. Don't forget about our downtown Saginaw Farmers Market that joins us under our pavilion, open Wednesday and Friday 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and Saturday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Support small this summer inside the Svrc Marketplace, open Wednesday through Saturday 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Have a special event and need a rental space? Check out the Marketplace. We thank you for the continued support of our small businesses. Remember to shop local, eat local, support small business, and we hope to see you at the market.
WSGW News Time is 10:08. As many prices of groceries and the cost of gas continues to soar, so does the number of people in need. Many are turning to local food banks for help. In Michigan, with the number of donations dwindling, the food banks are struggling to keep the shelves stocked. Phil Knight is executive director of the Food Council of Michigan, and says donations are needed at food banks everywhere in the state.
You can go to our website, which is
Now that the U.S. Supreme Court has overturned the Roe v. Wade decision, abortion rights supporters are turning their attention to a ballot petition drive in hopes of changing Michigan's constitution. Shanae Watson-Whitaker is among those helping to collect signatures.
With this constitutional amendment, it can't be overturned once the people pass it. That's why we need 425,059 ballot signatures to make the ballot. So this would not be overturned when it is passed by our fellow citizens here in Michigan.
Watson-Whitaker says the ballot initiative is all about protecting women and making sure women can make decisions about their bodies. The groups have to turn in the signatures by July 11th in order to put the proposal on the November ballot. Lawyers for the parents of the accused Oxford High School shooter will be in court today, arguing for a change of venue. They claim James and Jennifer Crumbly won't get a fair trial in Oakland County because of the amount of media coverage surrounding the case, as well as the outrage in the Oxford community. The defense also wants Oakland County Circuit Judge Cheryl Matthews to instruct the prosecutor, Karen McDonald, not to make public statements about the Crumblies or the evidence involved in the case because it implies the parents are guilty of wrongdoing. When you see news happening, call the WSGW Newsroom 752-0790. It's 1010. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. Mostly sunny skies here for today with a high in the low 70s. Northwest winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Then for tonight, mostly clear skies, a low near 49. Tuesday, sunshine around 83 degrees. Then by Wednesday, mostly sunny skies, a high around 81. Thursday, plenty of blue skies and sunshine, high of 93. Then on Friday, we'll have a chance for some rain showers here. Partial sunshine develops, a high around 88. Saturday, mostly sunny, high of 83 degrees. Then by Sunday, sunshine, a high of 84. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 67.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Well, good morning to you. Welcome back to another edition of the Art Lewis Show, hour number 2. Later on this hour, Linda Mcgee from Wildfire Credit Union, J.J. Boehm from Saginaw Valley State University will be paying us a visit. But we're going to start out talking about something else that has to do with education. That is the Michigan Education Trust, 35 years old. We're going to talk about that, and we say good morning to Diane Brewster. Diane, good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us this morning. So,
Well, thank
Diane,
you.
before we get into the giveaway, if you will, I think we need a little overview, maybe a little history of the Michigan Education Trust Fund.
Certainly. Well, the legislation that created the trust was enacted in 1986, and contracts were first sold in 1988. So we're looking at 35 years of helping parents and grandparents save for college. And the premise is that credit hours are purchased at the current rate. And in the future, when that child or grandchild goes on to college, with all those tuition increases, actually more money is owed, but the trust is paying those additional funds. So it's a way to kind of ensure that a student will have some kind of higher education waiting for them in the future.
So if I buy into the MET, the Michigan Education Trust, and I have a youngster who's maybe 3-4 years old, so by the time they get to college, maybe 14 years down the road, that fund is going to pay for their college. Is that correct?
It is tuition specific, but
Yeah,
yes,
right.
It would cover the credit hours. Mm-hmm,
And that
exactly.
is for state schools only?
It is not. Now you get your biggest bang for the buck, so to speak, at a Michigan public, either university or community college, because we're paying by the credit hour. But we have conversion ratios for a student who goes to a private institution in Michigan or a student who goes to an out-of-state college. So we would look, in the future when they tell us where they're going to college, we'd look at the weighted average tuition or the average tuition, and we would come up with a refund amount that we can make available to that school. They won't be fully covered. Rule of thumb, has shown that, but it is something that they'll have they'll get the earnings on that paid directly to the school. And we even have a provision for students who do not go to college. Those are refundable. So there's a formula for that too. So we think we've covered every avenue. Diploma programs, again, it can be refunded and paid out, by the contract purchaser to the diploma program. So over time, we've run into many situations and been able to adapt.
Yeah, I bet. And just so everybody understands, it's backed by the faith and credit of the Michigan Treasury, right?
It is backed by the trust itself. It's not legal in Michigan to have the full faith and credit of the state, so we are backed by the assets of the trust.
Okay.
We are an entity unto itself.
So as such, when I buy into the MET, you take my money, you invest it in the marketplace. What happens in down markets like we just went through?
We've been fine through this one. I was here in 2008 with the program, and that was kind of a scary time, but because not all of our students need the funds at the same time, we kept on making payments. We have never failed to make a payment on behalf of a student, and we've got a great team for the investment properties. And because we're looking at the whole trust, it gives us a lot better investing power.
Yeah.
So we weathered that, and we've weathered the last one. We're still making payments for students. The fund is a little bit overfunded, so we're in good shape right now. We don't want to go, nobody wants to go through a 2008 again, but
Yeah, that's for
we
sure.
did survive. Yeah.
All right. So 35 years, and you decided it was time to celebrate the MET. How are you doing that?
It is time to celebrate. So we're going to offer an opportunity, to reach more individuals, to get more students started on the path to college. So we will be giving away 100 $15,000 MET contracts to get started. That's a nice starter contract, or, even more than you would need for community college. So it's a sweepstakes. People go to metgiveaway.com to enter. Now, you have to be an adult 18 plus to enter a child, and the child that would receive the scholarship would be between newborn and 5 years old as of end of August this year, 22. So it's just a simple sign up. We'll be registering people through the end of August, and we'll be making announcements in September. We'll start September 12th and roll out 3 different weeks worth of announcements. It's a real nice way to get a start, or if you already have a MET, to add to that MET. So there's no restrictions there, but we're just really wanting to give back and reach maybe someone who hasn't had a chance to do MET yet.
How many applications have you had so far?
40,000. We're just under 40,000 this morning. Yeah. Yeah.
A bunch.
So it's being received very well. Yeah.
How, this interests me. And I don't have my youngsters. My youngsters are 50s, in their 50s. But, if a parent is considering the MET for their youngster's college future, how long do they have to be enrolled in the MET to realize the full value of it?
Obviously, the younger the student, the more opportunity for growth that there is. And really middle school, now you do get a deduction on your Michigan income tax for contributions made to MET. So you have to figure in, is this going to help me on my state taxes? You have to look at it and say, well, this is going to ensure that, if I purchase 30 credit hours or 120 credit hours, no matter what happens to me, this is something that's there for my students or for my, my child or my grandchild. And I say that knowing that you don't necessarily have to be related to an individual child to set up a MET account. So there are things you have to take into consideration. A junior or senior in high school, it's probably going to be a break even from an investment standpoint. We're not talking an ROI in this situation, but if you want the security of knowing it's there, if the deduction on the state income tax is going to help, then by all means, please consider MET.
All right. Hang on. I was taking a break. We come back. I want to talk about these credit hours, how you buy them, what they cost, and all of that. We're talking to Diane Brewer from the Michigan Education Trust, 35 years young. And we will be back after these notes.
Vote for Pedro, June 30th at Dow Diamond.
I used to be able to throw a pigskin quarter mile.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Dow Diamond welcomes Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite.
You ever come across anything like time travel?
Uncle Rico, door-to-door plasticware sales.
See, this ain't your run-of-the-mill crapperware.
Following the game, we'll light up the night with a fireworks loontacular powered by Farm Bureau Insurance.
So, how does the dealio sound?
Tickets are selling fast at loons.com.
I want that.
Vote for Pedro with Uncle Rico, June 30th. Dive in. It's Loons baseball time.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn.
Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment. Go to babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks are under pressure on Wall Street in early trading after the latest durable goods orders number showed stronger than expected orders for May, up 0.7% versus 0.1%. Durable goods are big ticket items meant to last 3 years or longer. For Russia, a first in more than a century, a default on its foreign debt. This after missing Sunday night's deadline to make 2 payments, according to holders of the bonds. Sunday marked the expiration of a 30-day grace period since the country was due to pay the equivalent of $100 million in dollars and euros. Some crypto to the upside today, Dogecoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. According to reports,
Goldman Sachs might be buying Celsius, which is that troubled crypto bank that has stopped withdrawals for $2 billion.
Susan Lee with the Fox Business Network. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
Big news. Greta Van Susteren is back, and she's on Newsmax. Tune into Newsmax at 6 p.m. Eastern tonight to watch The Record with Greta Van Susteren and get the real news. Plus, check out the new lineup of Rob Schmidt, Eric Bowling, and more. Newsmax is on all major cable and streaming platforms. If your cable system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them and demand it. And download the free Newsmax app on your phone. Make the switch to Newsmax today.
When state bureaucrats threaten doctors over their COVID treatments, Representative Annette Glenn backed the bureaucrats down. Dr. John Fenninger said Annette Glenn's actions, quote, may have saved many lives. Paid for by Annette Glenn for State Senate.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
Now, how cool is this? I'll use the word groovy.
Yeah, the Mystery Machine.
Yeah, Mystery Machine from Scooby-Doo. This is actually the Mystery Machine from, remember the Scooby-Doo movie?
No, I don't.
20 years ago when they did a Scooby-Doo movie, this is the actual Mystery Machine from that movie.
I see.
And one of the stars of the movie, Matthew Lillard, who played Shaggy, is now part of a special Airbnb opportunity where you could actually purchase a one-night stay in the Mystery Machine. How cool would that be? So this Mystery Machine includes a Sugar Ray album, portable CD player, a lava lamp,
bongos,
and a vintage TV.
Yeah, bongos, yeah. Right. Why was Fred the only one who could drive the Mystery Machine? Shaggy ever drive?
Well, would you trust Shaggy behind the wheel?
Probably not.
That one was probably too short.
She always lost her glasses.
Daphne, at times was an airhead. I'm sorry.
So it remains a mystery. The Morning Team, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
All right, we're back with you, talking to Diane Brewer from the Michigan Education Trust. Diane, let's walk folks through how you would apply for the MET, what you're buying, and how much it costs. There's a mouthful.
Certainly. Yeah, no, that's good. We have open and closed enrollments We are currently in an open enrollment, which ends September 30th of this year. So there's several ways to find out more about MET. We do webinars every other week for both MET and MESP, our partner program. We do once a month webinars for MET only, and we do set up one-on-one, interviews, just chit-chats, no obligation, but we can sit down one-to-one. So what we're looking at is credit hours in three possible ways. It can be a lump sum purchase. That's the way it started in MET. It was you purchased 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. That's been broken down now into semesters. We moved into monthly purchase options, and those are still available, where you're looking at purchasing a set amount of credit hours and having a set price over a set amount of time. And for the last 7 years now, our newest option is called pay as you go, which opens up, the availability to more families. So we look at a semester as 15 credit hours. That's pretty average. And with the lump sum, you can purchase in 15, 30, all the way up to 120 credit hours, which is a pretty standard 4-year degree. Monthly purchase, you can also do the same thing. The amount of time you have with a monthly purchase is dependent on the age of the child. So the younger the child, the more options you have, because the MET contract does have to be paid in full before the child starts to use it. So it could be something you pay out over 4 years, 7 years, 10 years, or 15 years, depending on the age of the child. So pay as you go came along, and it involves opening the contract by purchasing at least 1 credit hour, which right now, if you were interested in a community college contract and you had a newborn, it would be $120 a credit hour. So what you would do is put in your $120, you've purchased the first credit. After that, you can contribute. The minimum is $25. So obviously you're purchasing fractions of a credit hour, but you can get into the habit then of putting in money for birthdays or holidays, or inviting family and friends to make contributions with a limited benefits program. That first credit hour right now for a newborn would be $464, and for a full benefits program, $515. And at setwithmet.com, there's enrollment information and the full price chart, but you're securing those credit hours. And what we've seen over time is combinations. It's okay to have a year or two of community college and another year or two of one of the university programs. And, sometimes when we talk with people who say, well, I don't want to do the full 120 credit hours. I want the child to have some skin in the game, or I simply can't do 120 credit hours, but I'd like to help. When students who have less than 4 years would actually save that till later in their college career, when the tuition prices have gone up and they've got that premium for juniors and seniors. So there's a lot of ways to use this to the best advantage. So we like to remind people that way. I've worked with parents of twins and even triplets, and parents who may have 2 students in college at the same time. A year or two of MET for 1 or 2 of the students could help, the budgeting process in that instance. So what happens when enrollment closes, we'll be looking at, we work under a board of directors. So the board of directors are presented with several factors. 1, tuition increases at the Michigan public universities and community college. And 2 is the status of the trust. What is our funding status? How are we doing? What are the prices going to be? And then they'll set the new pricing. And over the last 7 years, we've had a very set December 1 open date for the next enrollment period through September. So 10 months out of the year. That's been pretty standard as of late, although they do have the board of directors. They have the ability to change, that if they needed to. But this seems to work well for us and for our clients.
Let me ask then about the return on investment, because if I contribute to the trust and I buy, we'll just take the max, we'll say the 120 credit hours. So at the end of that contract period, I've paid in many thousands of dollars, I assume. What do I get back for it? How do I justify the fact that I'm going to give money to the MET versus just putting it in a bank account for the future?
Well, we don't work on a set ROI. It's not that type of investment because the return is based to tuition inflation. And what you're getting is those credit hours covered, that additional covered, and the peace of mind of knowing that you've got this locked in, and if something were to happen to you, this is still available to your student. Having said that, we always do exit interviews on the contracts. Now, it can happen, let's say you're in a legacy situation where you have a child, but you went to one of the higher priced schools in Michigan. So you're getting the full benefits contract and college time comes and that student has chosen another option. So we always do an exit interview. We'll look at what did the purchaser pay for that contract? Where did the child attend? And at that point, they're an adult. So where did they attend? And what did we pay out to the school? And if for some reason we had paid out less to the school than what you had paid, then we're going to cut you a check for a balance and at least make it whole. But when you're looking at a younger child, that's not usually what we see in the outcome. So,
all right. What is the website where people can go to find out more information?
It is setwithmet.com.
And can they also apply for the grant giveaway there?
They will get a button that will take them to the entry page. Yes.
Excellent. Well, Diane, listen, thank you for spending some time with us, and we'll have to do it again. Look forward to it.
Oh, thank you very much for the opportunity. We appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thanks for joining us today. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Diane Brewer from the Michigan Education Trust. We thank her for joining us. Coming up, we'll have a couple of special guests to talk about a new relationship between wildfire and Saginaw Valley State University. That is ahead.
Let me tell you about the Lumberjack Restaurant in West Branch. For parties big or small, if you're feeding a whole bunch of SOBs, then let the Lumberjack Restaurant take care of the grub. Mouth-watering ribs, finger-licking chicken, dangerously creamy mac and cheese. Everyone in the neighborhood will be begging for an invite. So get your axe on that fancy phone of yours and visit lumberjackcatering.com to see how you can upgrade your next event with Lumberjack Catering.
This is what camping sounds like when you have sleep apnea and struggle with CPAP. And this is what camping sounds like when you have Inspire and don't need a CPAP. If you have sleep apnea and struggle with CPAP, Inspire could work for you. Inspire works inside the body and keeps you breathing normally and sleeping peacefully. No mask, no hose, just sleep. To learn more, visit inspiresleep.com.
Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
If you have certain chronic conditions such as heart disease,
asthma,
diabetes, and you're 19 years of age or older, 52,
36,
42, You may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'm going to ask my doctor
about getting vaccinated
with Prevnar 20.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Summer is officially here. The perfect time to save some money. And why pay full price when you know you can save money at RocketGrabPlus.com? Check out all of our deals going on right now, from Applied Training Solutions, Style Encore, One Up Games and Repairs, Daylight Outfitters, 120 Fitness, and more. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com. RocketGrabPlus.com.
This is the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios of WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show, and in studio, and you can actually see them on the stream there. We have a couple of special guests with us this morning. We say good morning, first of all, from Wildfire Credit Union, Linda Mcgee. Go just a minute. What did I not do here? Try it again, Linda. Good morning. And one more time.
Good morning.
Oh! You see, I'm not used to being in here, so I have to apologize. It's not my gig to be in the studio. Most of the time I'm at home. And also with us this morning from Saginaw Valley State University, the voice of the Cardinals, and also happens to be the man in charge of communications at the university, J.J. Bain.
Good morning, Art. Thanks for having us.
Hey, good morning. Glad you're here. All right. So there's been a marriage.
Yes.
Not between the two of you, but
our spouses wouldn't like that.
No. But between the two institutions, Wildfire Credit Union, represented by Linda, Saginaw Valley State University from JJ. So let's give us an overview of how this came about and what it is.
Well, we've been neighbors for years, and with SVSU literally next door, just down the road. It's been something that we have talked about and considered for some time. And SVSU at that time was in a relationship with someone else. And the opportunity presented itself last year. So we responded to a request for a proposal. And we brought what we felt was a good arrangement to share with them, and we thought would make a great partnership.
We should point out, and you both can comment on this, this is more than just Wildfire opening up a branch in the university. There's a lot more to it than that.
There's a lot more to it, and actually we're not opening a branch.
I know, and that's why I said it that way.
Yeah. We can. If the demand is there, we certainly can, but with and especially with students and even the faculty and staff, digital is the way to go as we move into the future. Yeah. So yes, we are. We're doing a lot of things on campus. We've added 2 new ATMs out on campus.
Done that already?
That's done.
Yeah.
Installed and up and running.
Branded the whole boot.
Yep. But one of the bigger things that we've done, besides offering the banking services to the students, faculty, and staff, is that we're making a commitment to our students going forward. And Wildfire is committing $100,000 in scholarships each year of our agreement.
Each year? How long is the agreement?
10 years.
So, JJ, what does this mean to the institution?
Well, there's a few things that it means for us. And one of the things that's in the agreement that we haven't talked about yet, but I think it's important. I mean, as I was driving in this morning, I heard your representative from MET and talking about all of that. Financial literacy coaching is also part of the partnership that we have with Wildfire. So that's going to be a great benefit to our students and our families. The most immediate benefit is going to be in terms of some of the scholarship funding. This scholarship funding is going to be specifically directed towards incoming transfer students. We know that there are a lot of students who have started at a community college. We know that there are students out there in our region who may have been on a college path. COVID hits, they either get their own education derailed because they didn't adjust well to online learning, or they had increased caregiving responsibilities. Something else got in the way. We want to make sure that we're bringing those individuals back into the talent pipeline, get back on path so that they can complete their degrees and contribute to Michigan's economy.
Define a transfer student. I mean, a new student coming into the university is not a transfer student, right?
Correct. So an incoming freshman would not be a transfer student. But if you started at a community college, you started at another four-year college or university, and then you're coming to SVSU to continue, and we want to motivate you to complete your education, then you would be considered a transfer student. And also those are specifically undergraduate students. So these would be students who are coming in to complete a bachelor's degree.
So why focus these grants on that class of student?
Historically, that is a group of students that at SVSU and other places has not received as much scholarship support as incoming freshmen. Okay, so in February, SVSU did what we call 2-2 for SVSU. It's a big fundraising campaign. This year, all of the funds, which again, in one day we raised more than $100,000, all of that funding is also going to support transfer students in terms of new scholarship opportunities for them. It's one of those groups that I think, again, has been a little bit overlooked over the course of time. And we're trying to be intentional about helping those students and helping the families that they represent be able to get back into college and get back on track to complete a degree.
Are there pluses in this agreement for faculty and staff also?
Oh, yes. As far as the services that we're offering to the students, faculty, and staff, we've developed a program for the students called Cardinal Perks. And it has a series of different benefits to them, one of which is the financial literacy piece, but things that help them establish their banking services and kind of give them some guidance along the way. Give them some of that maybe initial step into being a responsible credit card holder and things of that nature. And then for the faculty and staff, we have what we have with our entire credit union for businesses. It's called Workplace Perks. And that offers them discounts on loan closings and first payments and things like that, as well as getting some points that they can use on their credit cards and things of that nature. So there are definite benefits to being part of Workplace Perks.
I got to take a break. Hang on, and we'll be back talking to Linda Mcgee from Wildfire Credit Union, JJ Bain from Saginaw Valley State University. More ahead.
Domestic violence can make you feel small.
The name calling, manipulation, and lies made me feel like I was crazy and worthless.
Free and confidential help is available 24/7, 365. Just call the Michigan Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-866-VOICE-DV. Sponsored by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for Salon Blue. You are going to get a shampoo, cut, and a deep condition for only $40. You must book an appointment with this deal. Walk-ins are not available. All of the service providers at Salon Blue are fully licensed through the state of Michigan. Call 989-772-8898 or visit salonblue.com. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251.
Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Here at Total Wine & More, you'll love what you find, especially our totally low prices.
I'm firing up the grill for burgers and want to impress the neighbors.
This bourbon has a smoky flavor that'll go great with your grilling.
Nice. Wow. And look at that price. Well done.
I prefer medium rare. Your neighbors will love it. Love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More. Pickup and delivery available at TotalWine.com. Drink responsibly, B21.
News coverage.
Investigate the January 6th attack.
Least legitimate committee in American history.
A trip to Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia to beg them to produce more oil. Record inflation, soaring gas prices.
Raised the interest rate by 0.75 percentage point.
News.
$1 billion for Ukraine.
Around the clock.
The heat continues.
Natural weather events.
News.
Record-setting numbers at our southern border.
The Golden State Warriors, they're on top of the NBA.
News coverage on WSGW.
All right, we're back with you and our guests in studio, Linda Mcgee from Wildfire Credit Union and from Saginaw Valley State University, J.J. Boehm, talking about the new relationship between Wildfire Credit Union and Saginaw Valley State University. So at what point do we start calling you Professor Mcgee? Are you...
Probably never.
Who's going to be doing the financial literacy? Are they going to be set up in classes or online, or how are you going to do it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Actually, all of it. We have in our employ, we have a young lady that is taking the charge at SVSU and actually with all of our schools. And she happens to be an SVSU alum. She got both her undergrad and her master's from SVSU. And so it's really nice because she knows the lay of the land out there, which is very beneficial. But she's also, she will be teaching the financial literacy classes. She will be going into the classroom. We also have an online program called Bonsai that you can access through our website that takes you through different modules of financial literacy, and like applying for your first loan, balancing your checkbook, why it's important to save, things like that. So we have it available through many outlets for the students and staff.
Do students have to sign up as a wildfire depositor in order to take advantage of financial literacy classes?
No, not at all. We'd like them to.
No,
I mean, obviously, we'd love them to.
Where are the ATMs located on campus?
So the one that I see most frequently is right by the on-campus Starbucks. So that's the one that is you're walking.
Good place for that.
Yeah, well, and Art, as you know, President Bashan, that is part of his morning routine. And on certain mornings, he'll grab, someone or multiple people to go with him and, kind of chat on the way. And then he points out what he's seeing and those kinds of things. So I've been by that one several times. And again, it's co-branded between SVSU and Wildfire. And just to echo something that Linda mentioned, I mean, her colleague, Kelsey, in the few meetings that I've now been a part of with her, she's been great in terms of not only her understanding as it pertains to wildfire, financial services, those things, but again, because she went to SVSU, she understands what's important to our students. Yep. She understands how to be able to meet our students on their terms. And I think that's one of the things that has me most excited as this relationship grows and we're putting all these pieces in place to really hit the ground running come August.
And these ATMs are public. By that, I mean, if I go in there with my Wildfire debit card, I can use that ATM.
Certainly can, yes. And they're all part of the co-op network, which means that any anybody that their card is part of the co-op network, there is no fee to use that machine. And we think that's a big plus because most credit unions are a member of the co-op network.
Yeah, I've had occasion to know that using the card at some other credit
Right,
union
right.
no fee.
Exactly. So the other one is over by the student center. So we've got they're both in highly visible places and easy access for the students, faculty, and staff.
So JJ, in terms of financial literacy, what's been done before? Have there ever been financial literacy classes per se?
Yes, and there was a lot of opportunity for growth because I think, as we so first of all, the price of college has changed over the course of time, right? I mean, so the amount of money that we're talking about for students and families is significantly different than even when I started at SVSU 19 years ago. Okay, so
It's been that long.
It's been that long. So yes, I have even less hair now than I did.
I knew that was coming
when I left here at Radio Center. And so, yes, it has been that long. But and of course, what that means is that the stakes have changed. And so as many people now, part of how they finance their college education is with loans. You want to understand what that means. And I will say, I think our financial aid staff at SVSU does a very good job helping to coach students and families, but they need other resources. And I think, how does this fit into the overall plan for your financial future? What does that mean to make sure that you're staying on track to complete your degree in as timely a manner as possible so you accumulate as less debt as you need? So there's all those kinds of things that are going to be part of this. And I think it's going to be well received by our students and a great opportunity for growth as part of this partnership.
Has Wildfire been in the college loan business?
We do partner with a private source for student loans. So yes, we do have that. But obviously most students are going to
traditionally, the student loan rate is different than the retail rate, right?
Yes. And with the private one that we have that we associate with is more directed toward the parents and students. So there's a kind of an extra level of security there. So
yeah.
And again, as she's trying to explain this in a very simplistic way for all of us to understand on the radio, it's another reason why this financial literacy piece is important, because she's talking about private loans. Those are different than the government loans. Okay, so there's those are just two different kinds of loans. Then there's the scholarships that we talked about earlier. You don't have to pay those back. People don't always understand what that means. Grants you don't have to pay back, but people don't always understand what that means. So you're really trying to help students and families understand what we, meaning society, has made a complex web of how most families are paying for college these days.
This agreement is how long?
10 years.
10 years?
Mm-hmm.
And when the machines are installed, when does the rest of it go into place, or has it already?
It is for the most part, everything is in place. I mean, with the scholarship part of it is in place. Kelsey has been out on campus. She's been going to all of the orientations, and we're working with all the different groups on campus to get us in front of as many students, faculty, and staff as we can. There's a picnic that happens later in the summer with the staff that we'll be attending that. So there's been SVSU has been absolutely open arms as far as coming in and getting in front of people.
And how does a transfer student apply for one of these scholarships?
So first of all, if you go online, you can apply once and you'll be eligible not only for this new agreement with Wildfire, but for all of our transfer scholarships. So if you are a transfer student, it's worth your time to go and do this, because we're then going to do the back end work to make sure we find all the scholarship opportunities.
Where do you do that?
svsu.edu/transfer. And then the scholarship form's right there. You can fill it out. And again, we'll take care of it on the back end to make sure that we're taking a look at not only this new agreement, but all the other scholarship opportunities for which that student may qualify.
So how's the university doing these days?
I think we're doing well in many important respects. And I think, again, as I mentioned earlier, we also continue to hear from students and families who these past 2 years have really been difficult in their lives. And so we're trying to make sure we're putting the support structures and support services in place, because the talent needs are immense. in our workforces and our employers. And so we're trying to make sure that we as a university are doing our part to help those employers and help those individuals meet their right mix as they chart their future careers.
And the search for a new president.
Underway. It's in the hands of the board now as they're going to begin taking on that step of where the board is going to begin interviewing candidates. And I expect sometime later this summer, we will be hearing from them as to whom they have selected.
And President Bashan goes through the end of the year.
His contract runs through the end of the year. Obviously, with university presidents, you can have a search, you can have an announcement, and then depending on where that person is coming from, it can often be several months before they start at their next institution. So we'll see how all this comes together. But yes, his contract is through the end of the calendar year.
All right. And Linda, your contract is forever. They won't let you retire.
So I've been told.
Well, we're fortunate to have her. And again, we greatly appreciate this new arrangement with Wildfire. They've been great supporters of SVSU and our entire community for many, many years. So we're grateful to have this new relationship.
And we're very excited. We're very excited about this.
All right. Wildfire Credit Union, a 10-year agreement with Saginaw Valley State University for financial services. Glad to have both of you here. Linda, good seeing you.
Good to see you.
And JJ, as always.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Voice of the Cardinals.
Football season's coming around the corner.
Just don't rush. Let's go
Okay.
through the summer.
We can have summer first.
Yeah. Just a little bit of
Just
summer.
a little bit. All right, guys. Thanks for coming in today. We appreciate
Thanks
it.
so
My
much.
pleasure.
And we'll be back to close out the hour.
Are you ready for retirement? Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier. In Empower Your Retirement, they talk about how a well thought out financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital.
Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
It's Mark Lave and Camp and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
All right, our thanks to Linda Mcgee from Wildfire Credit Union, JJ Bain from Saginaw Valley State University for paying us a visit this morning. Coming up on Focus, we're going to learn about applied training solutions with our guest, Jason Beer. All of that happening after the news from CBS, the local report with Ann Williams, and then we'll be back with Focus right after that. Talk to you then.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. The U.S. Supreme Court sides with a former public school football coach in Washington State who knelt and prayed at midfield after games. Joe Kennedy was suspended when he didn't stop, and he told CBS News last April,
"They're telling me where I can actually practice my faith, and everybody should be able to practice their faith
CBS's Stephen Portnoy.
Justice Neil Gorsuch, writing for the conservative majority, says the Bremerton, Washington School District misconstrued the First Amendment, suppressing the coach's right to pray on the field out of concern he'd coerce students to follow his lead. Gorsuch's opinion calls that discrimination, saying Coach Joseph Kennedy's post-game prayer was private speech, not government speech. The court's 3 liberals dissented, saying the majority is now called into question decades of rulings eschewing government endorsement of religion.
Women in at least 8 states can no longer get legal abortions because of last week's high court ruling that overturned the landmark Roe versus Wade decision. This woman, who volunteers for a group that helps fund travel to clinics, says,
I think about them walking through the doors. They stay with me, and it reinforces my commitment to keep on doing this as long as necessary, which is looking like it's going to be a while.
There's where the U.S. is acquiring a new missile defense system for Ukraine. At the G7 in Germany, National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan wouldn't say much about it.
I can confirm that we are, in fact, in the process of finalizing a package that includes advanced air defense capabilities. I won't get into the details of the system. I'll wait till the contract actually gets done.
There's where at least 2 people were killed and 20 wounded in a Russian missile strike on a shopping mall in central Ukraine. A Russian court says basketball superstar Brittany Griner's trial will begin on Friday.
Brittany, how do you feel?
The American did not respond to questions after a court hearing today outside Moscow. She's held on cannabis charges that, with a conviction, could mean a 10-year prison term. Some big water problems are again plaguing a major southern city.
The 160,000 residents of Jackson, Mississippi are under a citywide boil water notice until further notice because of water pressure problems at the city's water plant. Rukia Lumbamba has helped organize several water distribution sites.
When the water crisis of 2021 happened, it really created a situation where we all realized that we got to do a little more than just constantly be able to pass out water.
Mississippi's capital city has long-standing, expensive to fix problems with its aging water system. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
Wall Street right now, the Dow is up 30 points. The NASDAQ is down about 10 points. This is CBS News.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance so you only pay for what you need. Visit libertymutual.com to learn more.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Summer is officially here. The perfect time to save some money. And why pay full price when you know you can save money at RocketGrabPlus.com? Check out all of our deals going on right now, from Applied Training Solutions, Style Encore, One Up Games and Repairs, Daylight Outfitters, 120 Fitness, and more. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com. RocketGrabPlus.com.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
The IRS doesn't mess around. If they want your money, they'll take it. They can take your paycheck and bank accounts too, even threaten your home or business. Don't take on the IRS alone. If you owe back taxes, the smartest thing you can do is call Optima Tax Relief. The experts at Optima specialize in a powerful IRS tax assistance program called the Fresh Start Initiative. And their clients that qualify are saving thousands. One call starts the process to stop the demand letters, stop aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS from targeting you. But don't delay. It's important to act now while you still have options. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Optima has already resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get your life back. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima now for your free consultation.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
67 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Ian Williams. The Huron County Sheriff Department is investigating a fatal crash involving an SUV and a motorcycle Sheriff Kelly Hansen says the SVSU driver, 58-year-old Michael Karinen of Imlay City, was eastbound with a passenger on Oak Beach Road shortly after 10 p.m. Saturday when he disregarded a stop sign, causing a collision with 32-year-old Eldon Pearson of Harbor Beach. Pearson was heading south on a motorcycle and pronounced dead at the scene. The SUV driver and passenger were taken to McLaren Thumb and later to an out-county hospital. There's no word on their condition. Hansen says investigators think alcohol may have been a factor in that crash. An effort to crack down on speeding wraps up today in Metro Detroit and across the state. The Great Lakes High Stakes campaign was set up as the number of crashes and deaths has risen over the past 2 years. University of Michigan transportation researcher Carol Flanagan spoke on a Michigan Department of Transportation podcast, saying drivers have been taking more risks over the past 2 years when commuting slowed down to remote work.
Another kind of idea that I have is that the open roads or frustration over the pandemic itself, which was certainly frustrating. It was frustrating to be locked down for anybody. It was stressful. And so, the combination of those things potentially led people to speed more than they would have otherwise.
Flanagan says increasing police visibility on freeways and roads does work to slow drivers. The Office of Highway Safety Planning says nearly 1,200 people died on Michigan roads last year. There were also 282,000 crashes, 15% more than in 2020. The Catholic Diocese of Gaylord has issued a statement after the conclusion of an internal investigation of Reverend Brian Medland, who was accused of sending inappropriate text messages to high school students. In March, the Attorney General's office announced that no criminal charges would be filed. But the diocese said after their detailed investigation, Medland was found to have violated the diocesan safe environment policy, including its standards of conduct for protocols for ministry to minors. Father Medland will remain on administrative leave with ongoing monitoring. He has served parishes in Lake Leelanau and Indian River. WSGW News Time, 11:07.
Hello, I'm Shep.
And I'm Mark.
We're the friendly board-certified entomologists from Rose Pest Solutions.
Let's tackle some spider myths.
I've got one. Spiders will sneak up and bite you at night.
That's a myth. Spiders are not interested in having you as a midnight snack. Okay, I've got one. You swallow spiders while you're sleeping.
Myth. What spider would enter the snore hole of death? But here's a fact. Spiders can be hard to control.
So call the pros from Rose.
Call Rose Pest Solutions today.
800-966-ROSE.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for Salon Blue. You are going to get a shampoo, cut, and a deep condition for only $40. You must book an appointment with this deal. Walk-ins are not available. All of the service providers at Salon Blue are fully licensed through the state of Michigan. Call 989-772-8898 or visit salonblue.com. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
WSGW News Time is 11:08. Parts of Michigan are at extreme risk for fires due to hot and dry weather. Much of northern Michigan will be in danger of wildfires. Michigan's Department of Natural Resources implores people to check weather conditions are favorable before attempting to burn yard debris. If you plan on having a campfire or bonfire, make sure to keep it contained in a pit or ring and thoroughly extinguish it before leaving the area. For more fire safety tips, visit michigan.gov/fire management. Warnings are posted for people heading to Lake Michigan. The National Weather Service posted a beach hazard due to high waves and strong currents. High winds pushed water across piers. Forecasters say the currents can pull swimmers into deeper water, and the waves could sweep people off the piers and into the lake. The warnings were in place for an area from Ludington to South Haven. Last Friday marked the 50th anniversary of the passage of Title IX, signed into law on June 23, 1972. Commemorating the milestone anniversary, Saginaw Valley State University Athletics announced the Cardinals Soar Higher Leadership Workshop Series for student athletes. WSGW's Michael Percher reports.
Soar Higher Initiatives will provide scholarship support for students with a passion for advancing girls and women in sports and physical activity as part of their academic journey at SVSU. Deputy Athletic Director and Senior Women Administrator Angela Pohl will spearhead the initiative with key stakeholders and community members. Pohl says the goal is to deliver exemplary leadership programming to connect student athletes with community members and alums. The university wants to equip them with the skill set required to excel and have the greatest impact on their communities when they leave SVSU. The workshops will launch this fall and will be fueled by an SVSU Foundation resource grant and a gift from Graf Chevrolet in Bay City. Michael Percha, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom, 752-0790. It's 1111. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. Mostly sunny skies here for today with a high in the low 70s. Northwest winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Then for tonight, mostly clear skies, a low near 49. Tuesday, sunshine, high around 83 degrees. Then by Wednesday, mostly sunny skies, a high around 81. Thursday, plenty of blue skies and sunshine, high of 93. Then on Friday, we'll have a chance for some rain showers here. Partial sunshine develops, a high around 88. Saturday, mostly sunny, high of 83 degrees. Then by Sunday, sunshine, a high of 84. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 69.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
And welcome to another edition of Focus on WSGW, brought to you by RoofMax, the safe, affordable alternative to asphalt shingle replacement. Find out more at getroofmax.com or call Ben at 989-859-6751 for more information about RoofMax, spelled with 2 X's. Today, we're going to learn about a business that you've heard about quite a bit on rocketgrabplus.com and some commercials too. And that is Advanced Training Solutions, Applied Training Solutions, I should say, who are located out at the Midland Mall. And with us today from ATS, we say good morning to Jason Bennett. Jason, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. How are you?
We're doing well. Thank you. All right. So I'm kind of fascinated by the fact that a firearms training company is in a mall.
So
how did that come about?
Just out of kind of necessity, right? So we were looking at the cost of ammo and started looking at technology. Where can we decrease the cost of ammo but still provide great training? And we came across some technological solutions. We have 3 simulators inside the Midland Mall that allow us to utilize a couple of different types of laser trainers. So we have some CERT lasers made by Next Level Training that are molded in all of the different popular firearms. We have Glock 17s, Glock 19s, some pocket pistols and the CERT lasers, as well as some recoil-enabled infrared laser trainers. So these have a reciprocating slide, so you squeeze the trigger, you feel a pop and a bang, it shoots an infrared laser, so you're not chasing the red dot around on the screen, so you have to use all of those good marksmanship fundamentals. And then from there, we've got video-based scenario training, so if you want to exercise use of force decision-making, we can do that. Or if you want to do some cognitive shooting drills, being able to differentiate between targets, that's really the neat thing about the software. We can take a person who's never shot before all the way to somebody who is military or law enforcement and design challenging situations for them.
So just out of curiosity, just so everybody understands, these are not games.
No,
this is real training.
This is real training. We do have some fun things. There's zombies that can be shot, but
I knew that was coming.
Well, I mean, you do have to go where the market is sometimes. And even with that, there is training there because as the zombies appear on the screen, some of them go down in one shot, some of them go down in two, some of them go down after multiple shots. So it's really teaching trigger discipline, and it's pretty fun. Who doesn't want to shoot zombies?
Yeah, of course. All right, so let's talk about some of the training that you do. Let's start with CPL training, concealed pistol license training. In order to get a CPL in the state of Michigan, there are certain requirements. One of them is training.
Correct. So there is 8 hours of training, 5 hours classroom, 3 hours of range training. So the way that we do that, you do your classroom and 2 hours of digital range training at the Midland Mall. Come in on a Saturday. We start at 9 a.m. We go through the classroom portion, and then we teach all the marksmanship fundamentals right there at the digital range. So we bring up the target shooting program. We go over dom to eye, grip, stance, sight picture, how all of that works together. And then the following day, we do a 2-day course. We go out to our private live fire range. We provide the firearm and the ammunition. So we're
mostly 22s.
Correct.
On the range.
Yep. So we're shooting Glock 44s and Smith & Wesson M&P 22s. So two of the most popular self-defense firearms that are being sold right now being the Glock 19, which the Glock 44 is that clone of, only in 22. And then the same thing with the Smith & Wesson M&P. So when you go from the digital range using our Glock 17s and our Glock 19s, the ergonomics are the same when you get out to the live fire range. And then even at the live fire range, we have our CERT lasers that have green lasers in them, so they can be visible outside and in the daylight. We start out with that green visible laser, go back over grip, stance, basics, sight picture, and then transition into the actual shooting. And then one of the things that we offer our clients is if they go out and purchase a firearm, they come back, they get another hour of range time for free. And we'll show them how to disassemble their firearm, clean it, let them shoot it.
All right, let me take a break. We'll come back and talk more. We're talking to Jason Bennett from Applied Training Solutions at the Midland Mall. More ahead on Focus.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a Roof Max shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money, guaranteed with Roof Max, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
Dirty exterior? Don't scrub it. Wet it and forget it. Wet and Forget, the easy outdoor cleaner. Wet and Forget works overtime with Mother Nature to eliminate unsightly black and green stains on the exterior of your home with no scrubbing, power washing, or bleach. Use Wet and Forget on all your outdoor surfaces, including decks, siding, roofs, and patios. Wet and Forget is available as a concentrate or extreme reach hose end. Purchase Wet and Forget in store or online at Lowe's, Menards, Ace, or Walmart.
Alejandro Mayorkas. I went to school with a guy. He came up with the wildest fake stories every Monday about what he did over the weekend. They were easily refuted. He was not very smart, but he had a gift of gab. And that's what I think Alejandro is. I don't think he's that smart, but I do think that he just has a gift of BSing people. And by now, he's pretty good at it.
Tom Sullivan, weeknights at 7 on WSGW.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios, you are listening to 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
All right, we're back with you talking to Jason Bennett from Applied Training Solutions, a firearm instruction company in the Midland Mall. Just out of curiosity, Jason, what are your certifications as a teacher?
So I am USCCA certified. I have a business partner who is USCCA certified, and then
and for those that don't know, it's US Concealed Carry Association.
Yes. And then National Rifle Association certified instructor as well. So we have 3 business partners that all work in tandem. So we have the USCCA and NRA certifications.
And the NRA is the one you need for the CPL, right? You get a certificate from the NRA.
So you'll actually get a certificate from the USCCA as well.
Oh,
so
that works too?
Yep.
Oh,
USCCA.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
How about that?
Yep. So we're certified women's self-defense instructors. We are certified to teach countering the mass shooter threat. Also emergency first aid fundamentals, and
more to it than just holding and pointing a gun.
Yeah, there is. It's a lot about outthinking your adversary, right? You can go out and buy a super high-end firearm and still lose in a gunfight, right? If you can't outthink your adversary, you're probably going to lose in that defensive engagement.
And let's understand, for people that have CPLs and carry a weapon, probably in their lifetime, they'll never draw that weapon.
No.
My dad was a federal agent, carried a gun all his life, never drew it once in anger, but it's the preparation that's the important part.
Yeah, simple things, learning how to draw from concealment. It's one thing to go out, spend 8 hours of training, and then be forced into an engagement and not understand how to clear the firearm from your holster and your clothing. So you can go out to YouTube and see examples of that and how that does not work out very well.
I break the rules, and let me tell you what I mean by that. I carry my concealed weapon. When I carry with a dry chamber. I don't load that chamber, and I have the thumb safety on. I just don't trust it. That's me, but I have learned how to draw it, pop the safety, and rack it all at once, and you do have to practice.
Well, yeah, practice is where that comes in. So oddly enough, Israeli Defense Forces do that exact same thing, Art. So when you look at the way they teach firearm safety, their soldiers are carrying on an empty chamber. So they have obviously a different setup than we do here, but that the safety portion of that is why they choose to carry that way.
Having watched the USCCA videos a number of times, that's not what they recommend.
So, but you've already made that mental connection with needing to train for that. So training to draw, cycle, and release the thumb safety. If you develop that neural pathway and that muscle memory, then,
So in conclusion, let's talk about the other things you teach. You teach CPL, but what other training do you offer?
So we do some limited Krav Maga training. So for people that want to learn an open hand self-defense skill, Krav Maga is very effective of getting yourself out of an entanglement. We offer that emergency first aid fundamentals, countering the mass shooter threat. We do that for church and security teams. We'll do that for educators too. So if you're an educator in the area and you want to know what to look for, we're happy to offer that training as well. So there's a lot more to firearms training than just the actual shooting. 90% of it is mental preparation.
So let's talk about your website. You have one?
Yes, simurange.com. That is SIMU-range, RANGE.com. And they can go there. You can email info@simurange.com. Or if you wanted to reach out directly to me, it's r.jason.bennett@simurange.com.
And where in the mall are you located?
We are located on the My Michigan end, just down from the food court.
Just down from the food court. All right. Jason, been a pleasure. We'll stop out and see you.
Thank you, sir.
Have a great day. Bye-bye now. Jason Bennett from Applied Training Solutions. We'll be back to close out and find out what's happening in the marketplace with Baird & Company.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
This is what camping sounds like when you have sleep apnea and struggle with CPAP. And this is what camping sounds like when you have Inspire and don't need a CPAP. If you have sleep apnea and struggle with CPAP, Inspire could work for you. Inspire works inside the body and keeps you breathing normally and sleeping peacefully. No mask, no hose, just sleep. To learn more, visit inspiresleep.com.
Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Is your prostate secretly being destroyed without you knowing it? All the ads for these prostate pills like Super Beta Prostate, Saw Palmetto, ProstaStream, Prostagenics, and others. Want to know which pills work and which are garbage? Now you can. Get a free copy of the new guide, Prostate Secrets, that pulls back the curtain on the prostate pill industry. Learn what is really in these pills. Which pill has over 987 adverse event reports filed against it with the FDA? It's shocking. Learn the one food to avoid that is a prostate killer, and discover the 3 so-called health foods that destroy your prostate. Get your free copy at prostatesecrets.com. That's prostatesecrets.com. This free guide will show you how to end your prostate problems without drugs or surgery, 5 important things to do to protect your prostate, and much more. Warning, this guide is controversial and may be offensive to some readers as it pulls no punches. So go to prostatesecrets.com, prostatesecrets.com. That's prostatesecrets.com.
And that'll do it for Focus today. Our thanks to Jason Bennett, Applied Training Solutions, for being with us. And our thanks to RoofMax for sponsoring the show. GetRoofMax.com. RoofMax with 2 X's. Time to head over to Baird & Company for our ticker tip of the day, and that's where we find Steve Anderson. Steve, good morning to you.
And a good morning to you, Mr. Art.
So how are we doing to start the week?
Well, we're starting it off kind of okay. The market started higher, pulled back, and now they're on the way back up. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is ahead by 85 points, putting it at 31,586. The NASDAQ is ahead by about 3 points, putting it at, Steve, shut your phone off. There we go. And up about 4 points at 11,611. Volume there is 372 million shares.
See that? I went on vacation. You made some recovery in the marketplace.
Well, yeah, I did. Well, you went on vacation, and I got to spend about 2 weeks home with COVID. So
oh, did you really?
I did.
Ouch.
I did. I'm just beginning to get back to facing the world.
All right. Well, glad to have you back. So your ticker tip for the day.
My ticker tip is we're at the time of year where students are generally looking forward to the next year ahead.